Hey guys, Patriot Picker here. My name is Chris. We're down in eBay Bunker, and before we get started, I have a good announcement to make. It's always good when you can make a good announcement. I have reached 601 subscribers. It wasn't too long ago. I was pushing for 500, and we have hit the 601 mark. And so if you are a new subscriber recently, I'd say within the last couple of weeks, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Can't express in words how much that means to me and the channel. We're so happy that people out there like you are gaining something from watching these kinds of videos. And I know that I have all kinds of audience out there, from kids to people in high school, to college kids, to adults, to older folks, and it's just great to know that people from all ages love to watch these channels. And so, again, from my heart to yours, thank you. Now, what I'm going to do is switch up some things. Usually my videos, as you probably know, are all about what sold. I am a reseller, and I sell on eBay. And so I take things that I find out in the community and I flip them on eBay for profit. And I've been doing this for about a year and 7 months now. It's coming up on the 2-year mark. So what I want to do is, usually I tell you what sold. I'm actually going to provide you with some items that I recently picked up. The reason I'm doing that is because I feel like sometimes you need to see kind of what each person focuses in on when they're out and they're sourcing. And sourcing is the word we use for going out and finding the items that we're going to turn into profit. So one of the things that I think tends to happen in the reseller world is each reseller becomes famous for a certain item. And it's not always, as you probably have watched other channels, it's not always because they want to become famous or let that become their niche. It's because it just happens. And for us, and when I say us, I know that my wife is not with me right now, but whenever I use us, I'm always referring to my wife, because she is usually with me when we're out sourcing. And so I include her in the word us, okay? It's our store, not just mine. Okay, so one of those items are scrub tops. This is a recent scrub top that we found just a couple of days ago, and it is a cancer awareness scrub top. And we didn't come upon these because we saw that they were selling like hotcakes and let's get involved. We just had an idea that back when I started, it was right before COVID hit. So I was involved in post-secondary education. I was working as an academic advisor in a local college. And I had a strong passion for certain career fields that young people should look at as an option for their career. And one of those was the medical field. And so I just started thinking, what is an item that a lot of people would need and want? And scrub tops was it. And so we started selling them, and then they took off. Now, we don't make a killing off of scrub tops. When we buy these, we pay anywhere from $2.99 to $3.99 a piece for them, and even if they're used. So what I try to do is I try to find the ones that look the freshest or the newest, or even new ones that still have tags on them, of course. And I stay clear of the ones that are really worn and laundered a lot, and you can tell, or they got stains or whatever. So I try to stick with what I know works. And of course, this one here it doesn't have any tags on it, but up close and personal, you probably can't tell from there in the camera, but up close and personal, I can tell that this thing is fairly new. It hadn't been worn very often. So I can take something like this for $3.99 and usually turn it into, or sell it for, $12.99, $13.99, and make a couple of few dollars, okay? So that's what the story is on the scrub tops. All right, now, I don't dabble a whole lot in clothing, but if I see a piece of clothing that I am confident will sell, I'll go ahead and get it. Just recently, excuse me, I picked up some men's jeans, Levi jeans. I've been watching other resellers and what they sell, and could tell that Levi jeans were selling really well. So, anytime I find Levi jeans and they're in good shape, I try to pick them up. So I have a few of those listed in my store right now. Haven't sold yet, but I have no doubt that they will eventually. Next up is this men's Cannondale, which is a cycling company. I don't know if you can see that, how they have those pockets on the back. Okay, so that's where they keep their, I think that was where they keep their water bottles. But Cannondale is a popular cycling company, so I know that this is going to do well, and I don't think that it's going to bring, a ton of money. But again, us resellers, we understand that the law of averages is what keeps us in the business, and that means that if you can pick something up for, say, $2.99 and then turn around and sell it for, $15, just look at the profit margin there, and a lot of those type sales add up compared to the ones that you find that, you turn in from $1.99 to $150, those kind of sales. Those are great and those are fun. But main thing that we do basically are what we call the little nickel and dime sales here and there. All right, moving right along. So, if you go to thrift stores, you know that, and I specifically, sometimes I hesitate whether I'm going to say this, and then I go, come on, Chris, you're a straight shooter, just go ahead and say it. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. When you go to Goodwill stores, and I know there's other thrift stores out there, but I tend to hit Goodwills mainly. You know the rule of thumb in most of your Goodwill stores is if somebody brings something out of the back and they're going to put it out for sale, you're not supposed to touch it until they put it out, is their little rule of thumb. And then once they set it down on the shelf or hanging on a rack or whatever, you can then get it. Well, the other day, this lady who, I typically have this one store in my local area where there's a few girls that work in this store that know me really well and have a good rapport with me. And then there's a few ladies that work in there that don't. It's not because I'm rude or anything like that. It's just I haven't built the rapport with them before. So because they don't know me, they kind of stick to their policy. So this lady pushes out a rack of clothes, and as soon as it comes out the door, I can see this item hanging that I want, or at least I'm going to look at. And so I stopped her and I said, ma'am, do you mind if I grab this since you're going to put it out? And she's like, no, you can't do it until I stick it on the rack. And, and I was like, okay, I'll wait, until I said, can I have it when you put it on the rack? And she was like, when I get to it, I'll get to it. And so she rolls on by me, and I'm thinking, okay, it ain't happening. She's going to wait and I'm not going to get it. So I let her go on. I start looking around the store for other things. And before I know it, there's another reseller in the store that I know. I don't know her personally, but she's a lady, and I just know that she's a reseller because I see her all the time loading her cart up. So I know she's a big-time reseller. And I watch her. She just walks right over to the rack, gets it off, and puts it in her cart. And I'm thinking, how dare you? I can't believe that, you did that. And the lady was like watching her and didn't even say anything to her. So I walked over and I stepped into it. I mean, there's certain things that I will do and certain things I won't do. I didn't really care about whether I got this particular item. I was more or less wanting to prove a point that why do some people get away with things and some people don't? You know that whole story. So anyway, what was it, Chris? Get to the point. All right, so what it was this Buffalo Bills jersey, number 25, McCoy. I'm not a big NFL fan. No, I don't know the players all that well, but the name sort of kind of rings a bell, but I'm not real sure what his first name is. But anyway, it was this jersey. It is the on the field version, so it's a nice jersey. And I walked up to her, the lady who got it now off the rack. I said, "Did you get that off the rack?" And she's like, "Yes." And I said, "I just asked that lady when she pushed it out the cart." I said, "I asked her if I could have that, and she told me that I had to wait." So the lady was gracious enough to give it to me. She said, "Here, you want it? You can have it." And she goes, "I don't want to get anybody in trouble." And I said, "Well, it's not your fault. I mean, you did break the policy, and they did let you get away with it, and they told me I had to obey the policy. So I'll let you figure out what you think that's all about, okay? But we got a jersey." Chris, why are you crying? I'm not really crying. It's not about crying. It's more or less just to show you that, sometimes life isn't fair, is it? All right, Lily Bloom purses. This is a small kind of a clutch. It's crossbody, a long strap. Lily Bloom purses. Lady had it in her hand, was looking at it. I was standing there watching her, and I was like, is she going to get it or is she not going to get it? She looked at it for a while. She opened it up, zipped it open and all, looked at it, and then said, nah, and put it back. And I was like, yeah. So I grabbed it up. It's pretty much new. No tags, but not any dirt or stains in it at all. And again, we do really well selling women's purses. Go figure. Okay, so a while back, a well-known reseller that many of you know and follow, and I obviously talk about on my channel quite a bit, Commonwealth Picker, had a video out about selling Bibles and how basically a buyer or customer was disgruntled with him about selling Bibles. Had some really nice things to say about him for doing so. And so he gave us a history lesson on, Bible selling and how that all got started, which was really good, by the way, because I love it when people actually can take a situation and then teach you from it, because obviously he's a teacher, and you learn and you open your mind up and you go, you know what, I never knew those things, and so now my opinion about things might shift because I actually know some of the facts, whereas before I was just basing my ideas off of my emotions or my opinion, or because it was a popular opinion to have. I love it when somebody can take a situation and teach you the facts, and then you go, oh, well, I didn't know that, so now I'm going to change and shift the way that I see things, okay? So he did a great job with that. So with that said, here's another Bible I'm going to be selling. It's called the Inspirational Study Bible by Max Lucado. Some people say Lucado, well-known writer of Christian books. And interesting thing here now, this is not a new Bible. It has been written in. The presentation page does have a name in it. And so the only thing wrong, I guess you would say, used about the Bible is that right there. Because looking through the Bible, there is no writing or any kind of notes or anything anywhere else through it. So it's still in really good shape. So I should be able to get some good money from that. Now, I had a return recently. I sold a Bible for $99. Can you believe that? I think that might have been on one of my last videos. But I sold a Bible. It was a genuine leather Bible for $99, and got a return because the gentleman said that he started to thumb through it and he actually found some writing in the Bible in one of the books that I failed to see. So we got in touch with each other through the eBay email. That came out weird. And began to dialogue and found out that he was someone who already had one of these Bibles and it was just worn out, so he was wanting to replace it. And so I had really good pictures, really good description of this Bible to show that it had some issues, as I just mentioned. But I didn't see any writing in this Bible. Now, I didn't go page by page, and I didn't go page by page with the one I just showed you. Maybe I need to start doing that more often with books. But anyway, he's sending the Bible back because he says that there's some writing in one of the books. Now, here's the point I'm telling the story. Something to pay attention to, especially if you're a reseller, is when people make a return, if you do a really good job of taking pictures, they can't scam you because they can try to send another of the same kind of item back to you that's not really yours and claim that it was damaged, and then they keep the one they like. That's a scam that people try. And so what you have to do to combat that is you have to make sure that you take really good pictures. If I had taken a few more good pictures of this Bible, I probably would not be getting a return right now, or at least he wouldn't be able to use that excuse. And so it's coming back. What I'll do is refund him his money, and then I'll just turn around and take better pictures and then resell it again for, it's a great Bible other than the fact that it has some notes in it. So anyway, moving on. Hey, here's a cool little thing. I don't know whether or not you've ever seen, I know a lot of us are accustomed to USB drives, memory sticks, I should say. They're a dime a dozen. But have you ever seen the Photo Stick 2.0? I had never heard of these. 64 gigabyte, I believe, is what they are. But it's a way to store photos, a lot of photos on a flash drive, and they call it the Photo Stick 2.0. This one's brand new, never been opened, never been used. Paid $1.99 for it. But the point is, I'm going to make here I am picking at my hairy chin. The point that I'm making here is that these things are going for like, $25, $30. So a good little find there if I can flip it for that. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Some little things. Here's a brand new little teammates, the University of Virginia's. You got your running back, your quarterback, and your referee. Little collectible smalls. I think I paid, $3.99 for this, brand new. And I saw online where they were going anywhere from $24 to $30. And there's all kinds of different teams you can collect. I picked it up just because I live in Virginia and it's Virginia players. So that's that. Let's see, what else? Okay, so McDonald's Shrek glasses. I don't know if you ever seen, they have a collector set of these back in the day. I don't know what years these came out. But when the movie Shrek was popular, they brought these out. They got the little McDonald's logo in the bottom of the glass and all the little Shrek characters around the sides. I picked these up because they sell well individually. I've got a couple of them that I found, and I paid $1.99 for each of them. Here we go. Samuel Adams Boston Lager. I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't know how to pronounce that word. $1.99. I found a set of 4 of these. These sell really well, especially if you got a set. All right. Then we have a men's tactical belt. Yeah, I think that's how it's said. 511 gear, tactical series belt. This is a medium, I think, size. It's the kind that has the Velcro. Oops, did I say Velcro? Will this video get banned from YouTube? I meant to say hook and loop. All right, so what's next? Oh, do you buy Christmas things out of season? I know a lot of people have been throwing up a lot of Christmas things here lately, like on Instagram, saying that they're buying vintage Christmas ornaments and, and all this stuff. Well, hey, if something Christmassy sells year round, why not, right? Or you can get it and pick it up for Christmas when it comes around, and then you can put it in your store during Christmas time. So one of the things that my wife taught me was that there is an artist out there named Jim Shore. I saw his stuff whenever I'd be in like Hallmark stores and stuff, but I never, bought any of it. So I was like, I don't know who Jim Shore is, but she taught me who Jim Shore is. And he's got some really quality merchandise out there. And so I was in the local thrift store the other day and found this Snowman. This is a Jim Shore Snowman. And they have names on the bottom. Of course, you can see Jim Shore. They have names on the bottom, what they're called. This one's called Winter's Tradition. I paid $5.99 for this, and this is probably going to make me, 30, 40 bucks. Who knows? Just depends on the buyer. But that's pretty cool. Christmas in May. Things that are banned from selling on eBay. I have no idea what they are. I just know that there are certain things that eBay won't allow you to sell. And sometimes there are ways to scoot around some of that stuff. But typically eBay's pretty good at catching people that put stuff on there that they don't want you selling. I don't know for a fact, but I looked up some comps on something that I think that I'm going to be able to sell, but I was actually a little bit surprised I would be able to sell it. And that is this right here. This is a plastic BB gun, okay? It is in the version of the typical World War II German grease gun, but this is an item that I'm going to try to flip on eBay. Its actual name is an M40, but anyway, it cocks, and then you shoot a plastic BB out of it. Not a metal BB. If it was metal, it would have to be a little bit more sturdy than plastic. But anyway, I found two of these, and I think I'm going to lot them together because one of them did not have a magazine and didn't have this screw-on barrel. So, but I paid $1.99 for it, for both. And I think I'm going to lot them together, and I have no idea what I'm going to be able to sell them for. But it's got a really cool stock that folds out, and just like the old days. And so I guess that's popular. I guess you get your eye put out with a metal BB. That's dangerous. Maybe not as dangerous with a plastic one. Okay, moving right along. Wear goggles, kids. Wear a face shield. I love telling stories. If you can't tell already in this video, I love telling stories. I'm going to share one more story with you, and then we're going to wrap this up a little bit because I like to try to keep my videos pretty short. So, another thrift store incident, another reseller and I were in the store, and the lady bringing out merchandise brings out some old records, and he sees them before I do, so she's in a conversation with him about, do you want these before I put them up, high up here on this shelf? And he's like, oh, well, what are they, And so I'm kind of standing there watching. And so she basically says, well, they're old musical records, musicals as in the old, I don't know, Wizard of Oz musical type, stuff. And he picked one and said, I'll take this one. And then he walked away. As he walked away, I was still standing looking in the music category when she came out again. And she looked at me and she said, do you like country music? And I said, oh, yes, ma'am. I said, I like country music. I said, I typically like some of the older country music. And she goes, well, these are the old country musicians. And I said, oh, well, what are they? I walked over, and they were these country music awards. And what it is it's a, I think it's a 5 DVD or 6 DVD set of all of the performances by the country music artists from the early 70s to the late 80s. Okay, so you got volume 1 and volume 2 here. Okay, when I picked these up, I immediately kind of said to myself, oh, they're, probably not worth much, until I looked them up, and then I found out that they were going for like 60 and 70 bucks if you have both. So that was a really nice gesture that a worker showed versus that other story I told you about the NFL jersey. I always try to end on a positive note. We have enough negative in our life already. I'm looking around like, okay, so what else do I really want to show? I guess I'll throw one more thing. I've got plenty to show, but I'm trying to keep the video short. This is a Wonder Arms. It's like a machine sold on TV back in the day, and you put these rubber bands on it, and it works for resistance to work out your upper body. And so I have sold several of these in the past, so whenever I see one, and it's complete, of course, and nice, I pick it up. I can make a little bit of profit on those. So that's a little bit of some items that I've picked up that actually haven't sold, haven't even been listed yet. Those are these things right here that I just showed you. This is going to be what I jump on next and start listing. So give you an idea of what items I found recently. We don't go out and we don't have the luxury of going and getting the items we want to get. We have to just whatever we find, we find. And sometimes we find good stuff, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go out and not find anything. I've walked out of a Goodwill store many times with zilch. I hope you're having a good day. I hope that you enjoy this video, and thank you again for subscribing. And do me a favor, if you like the video, you're watching it obviously, hit the thumbs up. That really helps out with the tracking of the videos and getting me out there for folks to see. And without further ado, we'll close this and wrap it up and catch you guys again when, that's right, on the flip side.